It's the final day of the 2023 Armed Forces Men's Soccer Championship here at Camp Pendleton. A gorgeous Tuesday afternoon as we get ready to welcome you inside the broadcast booth. Hi, everybody. I'm Alex Gould. Alongside me is U.S. Air Force Captain Kristen Lynn. Really appreciate you joining us and our terrific crew from the 2nd Audio Visual Squadron based at Hill Air Force Base in Layton, Utah. This has been one of the most exciting tournaments we've seen. Every single match, Kristen, in pool play was decided by just one goal. 3 of the 6 matches went to double extra time. It has been thrilling. If you ask any coach or any fan that has followed this since 1981, they will tell you 2023 has been one for the books.
This is the most exciting tournament yet, the most competitive showcase of talent from all 4 teams, and we can't wait to crown a winner and also a 3rd place finisher today.
Let's take a look at the highlights from the final day of pool play, but for both the Navy and the Air Force. First, we're taking a look at the Air Force. It looks like this is highlights from when these 2 teams met the first match of the tournament, and so that's what we're looking at here. Remember, Julio Noel got the scoring started. You see it right there, putting one past the keeper in Ben Locklear. He got the scoring started in the 20th minute of that first match, Kristen, but then an equalizer for Austin Dewing just before the half. A game winner by Isaac D'Souza. That was in double extra time in the 116th minute. But the storyline coming in for these two, Captain Lynn, for the Navy, they were up 2-0 on the Marines. They had a chance to make the gold medal match had they hung on and won 2-0. They were up 2-0 on the Marines in the 85th minute. They conceded a goal, then allowed a second goal in the equalizer in 90+5 and wound up losing after allowing 3 unanswered goals against the Marines. They finished pool play 0-3. The Department of Air Force, their story has been struggling to score here in this tournament.
Yes, the Air Force has not had the tournament that they were looking for. They've had a strong back line, but they can't seem to find the back of the net, and that's what has landed them here in today's 3rd place match.
You take a look at the tail of the tape. The Navy, again, the record, of course, is 0-3, not 3-0. They've scored 4 goals in this tournament. That's pretty good, but it's not enough to get them in to the gold medal match. Their back line kind of struggled late against the Marines. The Air Force finished 1-2. The Air Force, Captain Lynn, it's their first time not playing for gold for the first time since 2010. So we take a look at the starting 11 first, or actually taking a look at the table and where we're at, the rankings. The Army winds up going 3-0. The Marines 2-1. So the Army, they go undefeated, trying to win their first after missing out on the gold medal match last year. They last won in 2019. The Marines, they're trying to win their first gold medal since 1998, their first title appearance since 99. All right, taking a look at the Navy lineup in their 4-3-3 formation. Something notable for the Navy, Captain Lynn, they lost their 2 captains of their team. Alex Maney, who went down with injury late in the second half last match against the Marines. Also, Nando Manrique is out with injury. Fanning is back in goal. And, of course, Julio Noel has 2 goals for them under head coach Jay Renard. All right, taking a look at the 4-3-3 for the Air Force. The Air Force today, Bryant is back in goal, so Gavin Bryant gets his second start. Locklear, who started 2 already. James Sims and Austin Dewing, the 2 cousins, are not in the starting lineup today. Should see them later on in this match, but Lieutenant Colonel Kirschman, the head coach, Jeremiah Kirschman, is trying to give everyone a chance here in this final consolation match of this game. So there's the lineups for both teams. Taking a look at the referees here in this first match. Jose Lara is the ref. The AR1 is Logan Reeves. Peter Hansen's the AR2. And then Olvin Oliva is the 4th official. These officials have done a really good job here in this tournament. I think they've controlled the action well. They've swallowed the whistle when need be. They've blown the whistle on a plethora of foul calls that I think we've agreed with about 90% at least in this tournament. And I think they've been shown some good respect by the players and coaches as well. But let's talk here, Captain Lynn. Obviously a consolation match, right? So it's a bummer for the Navy and the Department of Air Force. This was the matchup last year in the gold medal match, in which the Department of Air Force won 4-0 over the Navy at MacDill Air Force Base. But listen, you still have something to play for, and you want to go out in 2023 with a win.
Yes, it's all about service pride here for this game. Each team wants a win to bring back there for their service and also showcase their talent, because you never know who's watching for that all-armed forces team. So this is a good opportunity for them, too, to get that call up to the next level.
So the first 3 matches, we saw 3 of 6, as we talked about, in double extra time. Surreal. I mean, stunning scenes here at Camp Pendleton. Golden goal is not in effect today. Not saying we're going to get there, but right now it's been a 50-50 chance on whether the game goes to extra time. And if it goes to extra time, we've not seen someone score in the first extra time frame. We've seen 3 score in the second extra time period to win the match. But today, if it does go to overtime, it's not golden goal. So we will automatically play 2 15-minute periods. And then if a winner is not decided after overtime, we will go to penalty kicks. But the Navy 0-3, the Department of Air Force 1-2. Navy trying to get revenge on the Department of Air Force, both from the first match of the tournament, which they saw each other last Wednesday, but also from the gold medal match last year. The Navy, they have not had problems scoring, as we talked about. They've gotten out to 2 leads, but they've blown 2 leads. Department of Air Force has struggled to score. They have not scored in over 200 minutes of soccer. So they're trying to regroup here today and find the back of the net early and often.
And we had a great game between these two teams early on in the tournament. And like you said, this is a redemption for Navy, who did lose with that golden goal. And you said that that is not in play today. So this should be a great matchup between the two teams.
Saw the shot of the Air Force there. Definitely bummed that they did not make the gold medal match for the first time since 2010. The Navy, who hadn't won a gold since 2003. That streak will continue into 2024, but it's been a marvelous tournament. We've really appreciated all your guys' support on social media, everything you guys have talked about. And we get ready to get underway. The 7th of 8 matches here at Camp Pendleton. The consolation match between the Navy and the Air Force. Isaac D'Souza, as the number on the back of his jersey is the 0 on the back of his jersey. It's kind of ripping off there, and I think Jose Lara poked fun at him for it as we are underway. First touch, Air Force starts with it. That is Max Sol on the far side. And now to the near side, Julian Bouchard, stationed at the Air Force Academy in Colorado.
We talked about how strong Air Force's back line has been, and I think a key part of that is Max Sol there on the outside and his ability to move up and down the field at a fast tempo, as well as playing on both sides, offense and defense.
Yeah, he's definitely a guy, as you just talked about him. He gets the interception there. He's definitely a guy we could see when it's all said and done on the all-tournament team. Of course, we don't know those results yet, but he's looked great as the right back for the Air Force. And remember, Sol was wearing number 3 last match. He's back to his original number 20. But the Navy, sour taste in their mouths. They were up 2-0 against the Marines in the 85th minute. They were moments away from beating the Marines, which at the time, they weren't sure, depending on what would have happened between the Air Force and the Army. But at the time, Captain Lynn, it could have put the Navy into the gold medal match. Then they wound up letting up a goal in the 85th minute, an equalizer, 90+5. And the rest is history. The Marines wound up getting a goal and a free kick by Omar Esquivel to win it. So they're trying to finish strong and win there first. Here's Bouchard on the near side. Tried to give and go with Lou Martinez. Brandon Buendia. Have not seen him score here in 2023 after scoring 3. He tallied 3 home last year at MacDill Air Force Base. First whistle. It's a foul on Tremane Doumbia. Through ball to AJ Villasenor. What a stop there by Andrew Grossman. Otherwise, Villasenor would have been 1v1 with the keeper and Tyler Fanning.
And that is a good first look there by Air Force. They have controlled possession so far in the first 2 minutes of the game to get that opportunity, but we've said it over and over. They've had a hard time finishing those opportunities and getting to goal.
There's Noel with the left foot. Noel has only played in 2 matches. This is now his 3rd. He's scored in both matches he's played in. He had to sit out. Wound up being a critical double yellow card. He had to sit out for the final 15 minutes of that first match between these two, and then had to sit out the next match against the Army. Good back heel. Good touch. D'Souza. By the way, that is D'Souza. The 0 has come off. So the 0 is somewhere on the pitch. I was talking about that right before first touch. That is number 10, but now looking like number 1, Isaac D'Souza. Good deflection here, having to come out and get it is Gavin Bryant.
And you talked about that red card by Noel in that first game, and that was really a game changer. It shifted momentum in the 78th minute, and that led to the Air Force win with that golden goal. And so I know Navy is looking for that redemption here, and it's going to be a whole different game.
Great ball here. This is Villasenor on the near side. 1v1. Martinez with a laser off the left foot. Martinez, and now it's cleared away. That time nicely by Ian Casace. At times it feels like, I know a coach never wants to hear this, but at times it feels like the Air Force has been a little lackadaisical on attempts, and sometimes it feels like some of the strikers and some of the attacking mids have been a little bit bashful when in terms of trying to take the shot themselves, almost being too unselfish with the ball at their feet.
And we see a new 3 here for the starting lineup for Air Force to see if they can take a crack at that goal. And that's something you want to see here in the first 5 or 10 minutes or so. Testing that keeper, taking that shot early and seeing what they can do.
Martinez out wide to Villasenor. Villasenor thought about Bouchard and said Misael Gomez. Giuliano Daniel, I don't think recognized that Gomez hit the deck. And now you got to get back if you're Bouchard. Great closing speed, but Noel has great pace with the ball at his feet. Through the middle, that's Armando Franco.
And you talked about that outside back for Air Force, Julian Bouchard. He does a good job as well as getting into the attack. He's a very offensive-minded defender, which sounds kind of crazy there, but he is raised out of Fort Worth, Texas. He works finance under Lieutenant Colonel Wyman, so shout out there for him.
Navy trying to set something up. Good move by Noel. Noel 1v4. Noel with a left foot laser and a save by Bryant. Boy, that was dangerous there for the Air Force.
And that is a player you don't want to have the ball right there at the outside of the 18, especially to take that shot because he is going to go for it.
Soul goes down. This will be a free kick for the Air Force. They play it quickly. So Mike Thrasher gets the start today on the back line for the Air Force. Haven't seen him a whole lot in this tournament, but he played collegiate soccer at the United States Air Force Academy, as this will be a corner on the far side. Graduated in 2014 in Colorado Springs, Colorado. His current job is a security forces defender in the 5th Security Forces Squadron. He comes from a soccer family. His dad, sister, and brother-in-law all played college or professional. Corner on the far side here.
And we see some contact in the box there before the corner is taken, and the referee doing a good job there to stop play, make sure that there's no more contact there in the box.
Martinez to take it. Air Force trying to strike and break the streak. They cannot. It is corralled by Fanning. Jandum couldn't find Noel. Noel wound up slipping. Now AJ Villasenor. Villasenor Instead, not going to cross one. He's inside the 18, goes down, and a penalty is called. Great move there by A.J. Villasenor. He got clipped from behind, and that draws the penalty and the whistle from Jose Lara. Chandum was late. What do you think, Captain Lynn?
AJ did a good job there of getting it to the end line and holding it, beating the player there, and then forcing him to make that foul from behind.
Do you like that call?
I would have to see it again there.
So Isaac D'Souza gonna take it here. He has one goal on the tournament already. He scored the game winner against the Navy the first time these two met. D'Souza, and a save by Fanning. Ricochet, though, by D'Souza, and he puts one into the back of the net. Not sure there, Captain Lynn, what the Navy were doing. After Fanning gets the save and deflection, D'Souza was alone and buries one home.
Yes, it looks like Navy just stood there on the box waiting for him, Tyler Fanning, to get the, catch it with his hands, and I think that was a missed opportunity there by Navy.
And you can see Tyler Fanning is sitting there, right? Look at that. Tyler Fanning is saying, where is everyone? I mean, he makes the save, and it was Gomez and D'Souza. D'Souza winds up burying his own miss, we should say, and the save by Fanning. So he gets his second goal, and the second time he has scored against the Navy. The Air Force, that's got to feel good. That's what they wanted to see. They lead 1-0 here in the 11th minute. So it was all set up by A.J. Villasenor, who got clipped by Omar Chandum inside the penalty area. Whistle blew, penalty was called. D'Souza gets stopped on the first, gets his own miss, and puts one back in.
And we've seen Navy give up those critical fouls there inside the box, outside the box. And so that is something that they're going to need to work on here for the second half and going into the rest of the first half as well.
Casace trying to answer, trying to get to the left foot. Sort of mishit at that time. This will be a throw-in for the Air Force on their defensive third. Isaac D'Souza has a great quote that he sent us, by the way, Captain Lynn. He said, "I love food and hanging out with the boys."
I'm sure they've done plenty of that here at this tournament.
Who doesn't love food and hanging out with your friends? Noel Bouchard. Noel goes down inside the penalty area. This time Jose Lara does not blow the whistle. And a check on Julio Noel.
And it looks like he's holding his face there, obviously wanting the call inside the box, as that would be another penalty for today's game, but they just didn't get it. So he's arguing there with the ref on that call.
Noel visibly frustrated. You can see him moving that right arm, saying he got swiped with the right arm inside the 18. Would have been a penalty if called. Instead, it's going to be a throw in here for the Navy on the near side. Right by the corner flag. Omar Chandum to take the throw in. Chandum, who was born in Silver Spring, Maryland, raised in Senegal. Opportunity here for the Navy. Could get a right foot rocket. We do. Deflection yet again. That shot attempt was by Chris Fison, who's stationed in Orlando, and now the Navy have to get back defensively, and they do. So Chandum's an interesting story. Another one of these guys who comes from Senegal. He attended elementary and middle school in Senegal, and then he moved to the States in high school, and that's where he was at. Attended Montgomery College for a year before joining the Navy. Franco. Now wide. Navy trying to equalize. Good slide tackle there by Sol. It's going to be a Navy corner kick on the far side. Joe Alex will take it here. Alex, who started playing soccer at the age of 5. Trying to set up the equalizer, and instead could be a counter chance here for the Air Force. D'Souza, now who has the 0 back on the jersey. How about that?
They heard you talking about it.
It's just something you don't see. Alex, left foot cross, nobody on the back side or the back post, and this will be a throw-in for the Air Force. So D'Souza, who scored the goal with the 0 off the jersey. I'd figure maybe after scoring with the 0 off the jersey, he'd keep the 0 off the jersey. Instead, gets the 0 back on. Grossman to Bentley. Bentley trying to find Grossman. Bouchard with the closeout and a clearance. Throw in here on the near side. Tremonti Doumbia. It's poked away by Misael Gomez. Noel waving everyone off. Try and throw this one inside the 18. Good throw in there off the head of Bentley. Franco with a try. Armando Franco just wide of the mark.
And number 17 there for Navy, Bain Bentley, has been a critical aspect there for their offense. He's done a good job this entire tournament, involved in every play and really putting the defense under pressure.
Gavin Bryant, who grew up in Fort Worth, Texas, played soccer for Fort Worth FC from 5th grade until high school. And he played soccer collegiately at Southwest Baptist University. It's an NCAA D2 school in Bolivar, Missouri. He was the starting goalkeeper all 4 years. And he wants to shout out his mom and dad for supporting him throughout his life and his soccer career, and also his squadron leadership at the 17th Intelligence Squadron for supporting his participation in this program the last 2 years. And also to Captain Lynn, his wife Tara, was hold down the fort at home, and his 2-year-old son, their 2-year-old son, Beckham Bryant. You know, Beckham is proud of Dad.
Yes, and I know he has maybe a little soccer influence as his name is Beckham.
You think? Bryant's job is to prevent those strikers from bending it like Beckham. Chandum with good speed, and that's definitely going to be a foul. Could be a card on Bouchard here. We'll see. It is. That was a late tackle there by Julian Bouchard.
And he just clipped him there in the back heel as soon as he found that he was going to be beating him on the flank. And that was a good yellow card.
Noel going to take it here on the near side. Right about the 16-yard line. This football field. About 24 yards out here. Tough angle if Noel wants to test Bryant, the keeper. See what he wants to do. Nothing's out of the question, though, for number 7. Noel tries to play it in. A couple bodies collide. Bryant goes down. That was Andrew Grossman who knocked him to the turf.
And that was great placement there by that ball from Noel. That's exactly where his offense wants to see it. And he is missing his partner in crime there for those free kicks, which is Maney, who you said was out for an injury.
Yeah, no Maney today. No Nando Manrique. Thrasher trying to clear. That was dangerous there. And the keeper and Gavin Bryant elected to go short. Now it's Doumbia. Noel, outside of his foot. Bentley off the chest. Brandon Buendia with a rocket. And a save by Bryant. Boy, that was a great setup there by the Navy. Now Bryant says, no more short stuff here. I'm booting it away. '21st minute between the Navy and the Air Force. 1-0 in favor of the Air Force. Isaac D'Souza, a PK. It was saved by Tyler Fanning. Then D'Souza got the deflection and buried one home. Here's Bain Bentley. Bryant is out. Bentley, does he realize it? He tried to get it to Noel on the back post, but Bryant caught it on the fly. Next shoe. Lou Martinez. Here's Sol. Sol trying to dribble it to himself. Christopherson plays it out wide, past the sideline. This will be a throw-in. Gomez, left foot cross. Next shoe. Dispossessed. Now you got to get back for the Air Force. Noel trying to lead Bentley. Bentley gets it banged off the back heel. Flag stays down. Fanning had to go out. Booted away. So Sol, who was a graduate of the Air Force Academy in 2021, so he's a recent graduate. He was a former member of the Air Force Division I soccer team. He made it to 2 NCAA tournaments. I know you talked about this the other day, but helped win a WAC conference championship his senior year.
There's a few of them on this Air Force team that were a part of that WAC conference championship.
Chandu. Can't find anyone. What do you think about the pace so far here through the first 24-plus minutes?
It's a little slow, but that can be expected as both teams, this is the last game of the tournament. They're obviously fatigued, and we had, like you said, a lot of games going to overtime, so that can be expected here in the first 24 minutes.
And maybe for the Navy, as much as they don't want to be down 1-0, of course, that's an obvious statement, but maybe this is the way that they find a way to win their first game here in 2023, playing from behind for just the second time in this tournament. Navy led 1-0 last time against the Air Force, wound up losing 2-1. They led 2-0 against the Marines, wound up losing 3-2. Daniel. Martinez was looking for Villasenor. Noel. The Air Force right now doing a nice job playing defense on their attacking half. Losing one there. Bentley could lead Franco. He elected not to. A bit surprised there. Instead, finds Doumbia. Doumbia goes down. That's going to be a foul on Thrasher, and the yellow card may come out for him. I believe it did. We've not seen an indication yet.
That looked like a pretty hard hip check there by Thrasher. Probably living up to his name there a little bit. But that is a dangerous spot there for Navy.
So Doumbia hit the deck, and now this will be a free kick here, Kristen. 4 or 5 yards or so outside the 18. We'll call it 7 yards outside the penalty area. This is where you talked about it earlier. They're missing Alex Maney. So is it going to be Noel or Buendia here to take it? Buendia is still looking for his first here of 2023. Noel looking for his third. He has scored in both the matches he's appeared in. He scored the first against the Air Force in the first match of the tournament. Noel with the left foot, he strikes one again. Are you kidding me? How beautiful was that from Julio Noel? How do you stop this man? He has now scored in all 3 matches he's appeared in. Speaking of bending it like Beckham, that was Messi-esque with the left foot there, Captain Lynn.
That was a beautiful strike. I don't think that there was anything the defense could have done or the goalkeeper for Air Force. Top corner there. That you can't ask for anything better than that.
Upper 90 from Noel, his third of the tournament. He's now tied with John Ponce of the Army for the Golden Boot right now. Boy, what a blistering strike by Noel. He has now scored against the Air Force in both matches. So we're equalized at 1. Good ball by Chandum here. Noel just equalized, trying to make a move. Noel still has the ball at his feet, takes a tumble, whistle stays down.
And that's the second hard foul there by Thrasher, so I think he got away with that call a little bit. He needs to be more careful there in the box.
D'Souza, left-footed cross. It was dangerous there. Grossman able to control it. Good decisive play there by Thrasher to come up and get it. Left foot cross, looking for the lead again. A save by Fanning. That was Villasenor, back post, set up by D'Souza. And it will be a corner on the far side. Giuliano Daniel to take it. Second lieutenant who's stationed at Columbus Air Force Base in Mississippi. He will start pilot training this summer. He grew up in Southeast Michigan. He graduated from the Air Force Academy in 2022 with a degree in electrical and computer engineering. Here goes that man again. See the speed. Thrasher closed him out nicely. Plays it back to Kasache. Bentley. Waits for reinforcements. Here's Buendia, who was well out. Deflected by Daniel. Corralled by Bryant, the keeper. Buendia gives it away. Good ball out wide by Martinez. Here's Soul on the near side. Soul with a right foot try was deflected and then saved by Fanning. Nice job there by Tyler Fanning, the keeper, to stay with that after the ricochet. Fanning, who started goalkeeping at the age of 7. At the Naval Academy, he was named the Patriot League Goalkeeper of the Week on various occasions. 2021, he was named to the Patriot League second team. We talked about his place in the MLS draft list his senior year, but decided to continue with his naval aviation pipeline. And he gave a tip to Tyler Fanning. He said, for younger goalkeepers that have been watching this tournament, watching these keepers play, we've seen some excellent keeper play, Kristen. But he said, learn how to position yourself to prevent yourself from making those hard dives. And you got to have great footwork. A lot of times people think it's just reactionary, trying to save the ball, but you've got to have good footwork, and that's what we saw from Fanning on that last save.
And Fanning is doing a good job there, playing quick, playing to his outside backs, and making sure that they can keep possession there for Navy.
Chandum on the near side. Here's Noel. Noel trying to orchestrate. Finds a teammate there in Alex, but Alex gets to take it away. Nice defensive play there and dispossession by Jared Dove, who then gives it right back after his counterpart, the other center back, Andrew Grossman, intercepts one. Buendia was looking for a right foot try. Instead, it's going to be Grossman, who didn't get enough on it.
And we talked about the 2 yellow cards resulting in a red card for Noel during that first game being a game changer. But something we've seen throughout this tournament is that a lot of players have been playing on yellow cards, which have caused them to be a little bit more cautious, and that's something that's not going to be in the factor here today unless they get those 2 yellows.
It's a great point by you. You can play a little bit maybe more free and easy in this match, knowing that this is the final match of the tournament. Having to worry if you've picked up a yellow previously, whether or not you pick one up here. Next you, Sol, left foot on the ground, cross. Good stop there by Kasache. So Joe Alex, who just banged one off of Gomez, he's currently in Jacksonville, awaiting flight school later this year. A lot of players we've talked about awaiting flight school. And you talked about him being a huge baseball card collector. I thought that was a great story that he added in here to his bio. He talked about the New York Yankees being his favorite team.
And another steady presence that we've had from Air Force in the midfield is Lou Martinez, and he is married mill to mill, which means both him and his spouse are in the military with 2 kids. So if he wants to say his shout out is his inspiration and motivation is his wife Heidi and his son Luca and daughter Capri. Foul called, center circle, middle of the pitch. Martinez will play it back to Thrasher. 1-1 here, 39th minute between the Air Force and the Navy. even that right there by Noel, just to let that go, right? Even that was a little cheeky and cat and mouse like. He decided that maybe he couldn't quite get a touch on the ball there, or at least not enough to dribble it past Sol and let it go. It's just an experience play. Yeah, he's been a great player this entire tournament, and I think he has a good shot, too, of making that all on Force's team.
I know it would be tough, and we talked about it. The Coast Guard is a part of this Navy team, right? And then the Air Force has the Space Force now. And people were talking about it earlier, saying, boy, it would be cool if one day, and I know maybe not here in the near future, but one day this tournament expanded where you got an all Coast Guard team, and then you got an all Space Force team. I mean, it'd be really, really fun to see Six Branches compete. I know it's different, Coast Guard and of course the Space Force, a little bit smaller branches, right? So it's tough. Could you get enough players to try out to keep it competitive? Left foot cross. Bouchard keeps it in. Nice job there on the far side.
I think that's always the hope here, is to make this tournament better than the year before. It's not always about soccer.
Could be a chance here for Doumbia. Oh, just wide of the mark. Boy, he was coming towards the near side away from the goal. Just turned, ripped, and fired. Just missed wide. Sorry to cut you off there, partner.
I was going to say, this tournament is more than just soccer here. This is a great opportunity for these men to, one, network within their service, network outside of their service, and also get those leadership opportunities. So this is a great tournament for all involved.
And we talked about it in the open, but if you ask anybody that has been following this since 1981, or at least following this the last decade or so, I mean, Lieutenant Colonel Kirschman came up to me at the end of the last match. And he was, of course, bummed that the Air Force missed out on the gold medal match for the first time in 7 tournaments. But he said, this is so great for Armed Forces sports. It's so great for men's soccer to see it this competitive. Every match be a 1-goal deficit. Off the head of Bentley, Doumbia. Oh, he found space. Great recovery there by Dove, and then Doumbia, can't believe it, arguing with Jose Lara. He gets called for the foul. Great backside help there by Jared Dove.
And Jared Dove does a good job there of tracking the player, making sure that he backs up the keeper, and that's just a good defensive play.
Good deflection there by Casace. He's giving them a little spark as the center back. Buendia. Alex. Bentley offside. Flag goes up. D'Souza, who scored the first, out wide, Villasenor. Villasenor with a good move. Villasenor finds Nexu under the legs of Fanning. The Department of Air Force reclaimed the lead. What ball movement there, Captain Lynn. It went D'Souza. Villasenor, who favors his left foot, was able to find Nexu, who made the run here on the near side. He gets his first goal of the tournament. The Air Force go up 2-1.
And here's another look at this play right here. Villasenor has been critical for the Air Force in both scoring opportunities. He's done a good job. That was great vision by him to see him there wide open on the far side. And so that was good service there by Villasenor.
Great service by Villasenor. Maybe even a better move to get himself some space and then looking up. That's what you have to do. There's Jeremiah Kirschman, who's enjoying this match right here, just talking about him. Lieutenant Colonel Kirschman, who played on the team from 2007 to 2012 before he transitioned to coaching. If you're an Air Force member or an Air Force fan, this is something you want to see all tournament long here. Team who came into this match who hadn't scored in 200 minutes. They have 2 here in the first half. Villasenor with that assist. Originally from Moreno Valley here in California. Talked about him being an Army brat growing up. His dad did 20 years and then retired. He's a big Arsenal supporter, and boy, he's got to be enjoying Arsenal this season. His Navy was looking for an equalizer here the 45th minute. Arsenal will lead the Premier League. He's a man who collects sneakers, loves playing video games. And he wanted to shout out his management team back at Luke Air Force Base. Part of the 56 LRS. And also his girlfriend, Cassie. Folks at Luke and Cassie, they got to be proud of the way he's played. He talked about him being such a difference maker. Boy, he set up Nexu perfectly. Nexu's a guy, he played Division I at the Air Force Academy. Noel, who scored the first and the equalizer for the Navy. Can he bend one home here? 1 minute being added on here. Haven't been too many stoppages. Julio Noel, he's got 3 in the tournament. He's tied for the Golden Boot. Could be a tough angle here, but nothing seems impossible for number 7. Noel trying to set one up off the head of Chandum, and then saved by Bryant.
And Noel seems pretty frustrated there with that missed opportunity. I know Navy wants to tie that up right before halftime, and it doesn't look like they're going to get an opportunity to do so.
So it was Isaac D'Souza with a penalty kick, PK, in the 11th minute to get the scoring started. Julio Noel, Messi-esque free kick with the left foot, found the near post in the back of the net, pushing one past Gavin Bryant. And then moments ago, AJ Villasenor sets up Mikey Nexu, who scored under the legs of the Navy keeper, and Tyler Fanning. 2-1 Air Force. That's where we're at. Thoughts on that first half, partner?
Air Force did a good job there, proving us wrong, proving that they can get that ball in the back of the net. And Navy can't count them out just yet, because Julio Noel has proven to be very dangerous there in that attacking half.
So we have 2 pieces here at the half. Our team from Hill Air Force Base, who's been working so hard all tournament long. It's 2 good pieces here. Mata gets to talk about an emotional piece for him and why he wears the number 13 jersey, and then talking about the all-Navy team as well. So 2 good pieces you'll see here at the half. We will see you guys on the flip side.
Navy because my dad was prior Air Force, he retired, and I like the lifestyle, so I want to do something different but similar at the same time, so that's why I decided to join the Navy. So immediately out of high school, I went to play college ball. I played soccer there, but then I joined the Navy 1 year after that, and immediately the Navy signed me up for school. I thought it was part of my check-in process. It was kind of funny. 16 years later, here I am. It means a lot. It's truly a great experience. Just being able to come try out and meet new people all the time. It's a tryout every year, so I know I'm not automatically on the team every year. So you gotta stay in shape throughout the entire year. But every year is different. New group of guys. You see there's less than a handful of actual veterans here that have played all Navy before. So out of the 18, we got 14 new faces. And that's the best part about being out here. I am the oldest, being 36. I think our average age is somewhere around 25, but I'm trying to keep up with these young guys, and I have been playing the longest since 2015, minus the COVID years. And best part about being on the All-Navy soccer team is the people as well, and I get to do something I love with the new brothers that I make here, between the coaching staff and players alike. Our hopes are probably play against Air Force in the finals and beat them that time, the next time we play them. Take that. It's been too long since I have too many silver medals, and I need that gold to put in front of it. My command in Florida, I'm very grateful. I just checked in there in January, and they automatically said yes. They were very supportive, let me come here, take a month off after just checking in January. I know that puts a little bit of burden on my shop, but I'm very grateful for them for letting me come out here. And then my family at home in Nebraska, wife and kids, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. That wife's holding it down. Family's there to help her with the kids, but she is holding it down to a T.
To see his parents in the stands, it's an honor. I mean, Dante was a great kid, and just to wear the 13 for him and see the way they smile, I just hope they can see a piece of him back on the field, and that's the reason I wear it. My name is Eric Mata. I'm security forces up at March Air Reserve Base. I'm a reservist. I've been playing soccer since I was 7 years old. The reason I wear number 13, unfortunately I lost a friend last year. He trained me. He's actually a local here in Southern California. He went to Cal State San Marcos and he played there, and he wore number 13. His parents will be coming out to tomorrow's game, and I hope to be on the field and be able to honor his number, and it'd be just awesome to honor his number in front of his parents.
This is my little brother Dante. Dante was a world-class athlete and knew pretty much everybody. And Eric reached out to us 6 months ago saying that he would like to take on my little brother's jersey number 13 since my brother passed.
The values he taught me were just to always, one, have fun, but two, be grateful. He always encouraged everyone around him to do was keep their heads up. You're never as low as you think you are. It'd mean everything to me, but I think it'd mean more to his parents, and that's who I want to score for. His parents, and just wearing his number, this whole tournament is dedicated for him.
It's incredible to see his number out there. For us, it's just a sign that he's still here, he's still out there, he's still doing what he loves out on the field. So it means a lot. Thank you, Eric.
your Air Force, so I want you to get 2 of these. So what do you think?
And your helmet.
Back here at Camp Pendleton, getting ready for the start of the second half between the Air Force and the Navy. Alex Gould, U.S. Air Force, Captain Kristen Lynn, and the second audio-visual crew from Hill Air Force Base in Layton, Utah. Final 3 halves of soccer here at the 2023 Armed Forces Men's Soccer Championship. All right, getting ready for the start of the second half here, and we talked about in that first half. I know it's disappointing for these two here that they didn't make the gold medal match, but how do you finish strong? How do you play for your guys here, and how do you make these last 45 minutes count?
And it's more than just for the gold. It's a lot of service pride here for both teams, as well as an opportunity for them to showcase their talents in front of scouts and coaches for that next level for the Armed Forces tournament. So you can expect to see both teams still giving their best, giving their all here to win this game.
Yeah, and that's a great point by you. The next time the World Military Games come up, right, you're going to have a Team USA. And so a lot of these guys here, even in the final 45 minutes, potentially trying out or competing for a spot on Team USA. Service by Carissa Fison off the head of Max Soul. But Lieutenant Colonel Kirschman, who's going to retire from the Air Force in 2024. Here's D'Souza, who scored the first. D'Souza, who favors the left foot. D'Souza finds Misael Gomez. What a save by Fanning. And it will be a corner for the Air Force. D'Souza sets up Gomez, and then Fanning with another tough save.
And here's the replay here on that last play. Good job putting it across the 18 like that, giving that opportunity, and a missed opportunity there by Air Force.
Here's AJ Villasenor. Remember, he set up the second goal. That doesn't feel good there by Casace. That was off the side of the face. Bouchard finds D'Souza. Flag stays down. Another save by Fanning. Yet again, the Navy can't believe that the flag stayed down and kind of stopped what they were doing defensively.
And you never want to stop, even though you are 100% sure it's offsides. You don't want to stop until that referee calls a whistle. And that's the second time that they've done that. They've thrown up their arms and have stopped the play, but the whistle says play on.
Now that's Casace, who is down. He took that shot to the face with the right foot of Jared Dove. But D'Souza's been everywhere. This will be a corner kick here on the near side by Lou Martinez. He will take it here with the left foot. Martinez plays it to Daniel. Daniel, left foot. Field goal's good, but over the bar. So Jeremiah Kirschman, the head coach for the Air Force, talked about him playing on this team from 2007 to 2012. He was a class of 2004. He played Division I soccer at the Air Force Academy. Guy who's originally from Albuquerque, New Mexico. He's now stationed at Fairchild Air Force Base in Spokane, Washington. He's a big reason, Captain Lynn, why the 2022 SISM tournament occurred at Fairchild Air Force Base for the women's side of things. I mean, he was so integral in being a big part of that tournament. Amazing everything he was doing up there in Spokane, Washington. And he talked about him retiring after 20 strong years in the Air Force. He's been married to his wife, Crystal, for 19 of those years. And his son, Caden, his daughter, Montana. Got 2 of the best kids, and he's one of the best people you'll ever get the chance to meet. And he also wanted to shout out his mom and dad, John and Tammy Kirschman, and his mother and father-in-law, Gene and Gilbert Corin. And he's extremely thankful to his boss, Colonel Charles Fletcher, for allowing him to participate this year and for what Charles Fletcher has done for him and his career as well. And also a big thanks to a guy who means a lot to the Air Force, means a lot to the sport of soccer in the armed forces realm, Derek Wayan, for pulling Colonel Kirschman up from a player to be his assistant coach back in 2015. Derek Wayan was actually the head coach of the women's team in 2022. And Derek Wayan, who's been watching all tournament long, gave us, you and I, some good words of encouragement. Lieutenant Colonel Kirschman, he's a big part of all of this and what it means here in 2023.
And speaking of that women's team, Jeremiah Kirschman is not the only one to ties to that Armed Forces women's team. Coach Major Samuel McNell, who's the assistant coach for Air Force, is actually married to a former captain of the Armed Forces women's soccer team, Leah McNell, which is a 2014 grad from USAF. He himself is also a graduate from the Air Force Academy, helicopter pilot. So shout out to him and his wife, Leah.
And we're going to get to Chief James Royston Jr. in a moment. Free kick. It was caught. Wow. Great play there by Bryant, who snags it in the air. If that pops free there, Kristen, we may have an equalizer for the Navy. But Chief James Royston is one of the head assistants for the Air Force. He's the oldest son of James Royston Sr. and Gail Anderson, who both retired in the Air Force. So he came from the Air Force and decided to join. He's a military brat, originally from Panama City in Florida. He's been married 29 years to his beautiful wife and high school sweetheart, Jenna Lynn. And she is the mother and he's the father of 3 wonderful boys, James the third, Hunter, and Brendan. He joined the Air Force as an aircraft sheet metal technician back in 1994. And I know Chief James Royston's going to tell us, Chris, he's not a day over 40. In 1994 when he joined the Air Force. And he has served the country proudly for almost 30 years. And he has also been approved to retire on February 1st of 2024. So he's going to retire about 5 months prior to Lieutenant Colonel Kirschman retiring. Men who have dedicated their lives to service and also to coaching and to keeping this tradition alive. And they're so important here in 2023.
And it was fun to see Chief out there actually practicing with the boys in between games. So it's fun to see that they're a part of the game, not just by the coaching aspect, but they go out there and play with them. Yeah,
James Royston and Lieutenant Colonel Kirschman actually got to play together for 1 season back in 2007. But Chief Royston Jr. played on the Air Force team 1999, 2001, 2003, 2005, and 2007. Noel, who scored the first. He's looking for the equalizer. He's banged off the back of Sol. And he wanted us to know, by the way, and I know he told me this at the banquet the other night. He said, you know what? I made that all-tournament team in 2001. He said I was proud of it. And I asked him at the banquet, I said, hey, you think you could still go out there and play? And he goes, listen, I could control the ball, no doubt about it. He goes, I would just be out of gas after about 5 minutes. I thought it was a very honest answer.
And right there, you can just see how much these moments and this opportunity means to these men, as they're going to remember this for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely. He also wanted to shout out Colonel John Paquette for allowing him one last chance to give back to a program that has given him so much, and one more chance to, of course, win gold. And I know they didn't get to that gold medal match, but, you know, he's soaking this all in. And the last shout out that we have to get to for Chief James Royston Jr., he said, "I have to shout out my godmother, Mary Sosa B., who retired from the Air Force and introduced him to soccer at the age of 8 in Germany and bought him his first pair of Puma King boots." So nice job to Mary there, and big shout out to her. 55th minute, 2-1 Air Force. Trying to add an insurance goal here. Navy get an interception. This is Doumbia the other way. Bentley was off, and that's why Bentley didn't make the run.
And it looks like Doumbia is holding the ball a little bit too long there in the middle of the field, and that's really what caused Bane Bentley to be offsides. I would like to see him get it off his foot a little bit earlier.
Here's Chandum. Thrasher with a great kind of box out there. You see that a lot, not just in basketball, but in soccer. Kind of that closeout, box out to not allow Chandum to get around Thrasher there on the far side. Daniel, great service here to Villasenor. Villasenor. Out wide to Sol. D'Souza turns it over. Noel trying to find Bentley. Jared Dove with a great closeout. Dove, who was one of those guys on that WAC championship team. Graduated from the Air Force Academy. Celebrated a birthday the other day. A couple of subs going to check in here for the Navy. Jensen Escobar, PO2 in the Navy, stationed at Naval Base in San Diego, about 40 miles from here. He checks in. And then also Dan Redden, who we've seen play terrific and stout defense. Remember this back line, one of the center backs for Navy. He is on as well. So Joe Alex's tournament is done. Chris Fison's tournament is done. Good efforts from them through the first 4 matches. Next shooter, Bouchard. Bouchard, and welcome to the match, Dan Redden, who gets a rocket off the chest.
And you see Air Force here trying to slow the game down a little bit. They have the lead and they just want to keep possession, play it easy, and keep it simple.
So the Navy wanted to give a couple of big shout outs today too. They wanted to give a shout out to the Naval Base in San Diego and the MWR team, AJ, Kenya, Nate, and staff for their support throughout the 4-week training camp, to all the friends and family watching and supporting from around the world. They can't thank you guys enough for the support and what you mean. You're all part of the Navy family. And lastly but not least, well, they wanted to thank the 2nd Audio Visual Squadron, everything our crew has done, and all the branches have continued to come up to you and I throughout the tournament and just say, we need this every year. Whatever we got to do, we have got to get this broadcasted every single year. And a big shout out. We continue to shout out Steve Denault for making this all possible. Noel goes down. This will be a free kick here and a card for Seoul. So free kick here for Julio Noel. Looking for the equalizer here in the 60th minute.
And Noel is dangerous from any distance, so we're going to see him put this on the back post here to give Navy another opportunity.
So Noel's got Buendia to his left. Three-man wall for the Air Force. Noel trying to find a teammate. He's looking for Grossman. Great run by Grossman towards the back post, but just ran out of real estate.
And there we see Jared Dove with the ball. He is currently stationed at Hanscom Air Force Base as an acquisition officer, and he would like to give a special thank you to Colonel Rich Lopez, Lieutenant Colonel Max Reel, Captain Cameron South, and Lee Bierman for the support to be here today.
Here's Brandon Buendia. Buendia out wide to Noel. A little too much on the touch, and Noel offside. Can't believe it. And Buendia, the right idea there, Kristen. Just a little bit too much, and then Noel was offside. Buendia, he's from Nashville, Tennessee. Started playing soccer at the age of 7. Played recreationally until the age of 17 when he played club soccer for Tennessee Soccer Club. I live in Nashville currently, and Tennessee Soccer Club is still kicking pretty strong over in Nashville. But he attributes his dad as the reason why he started playing soccer. Dad played soccer in Mexico for various clubs. You see AJ Villasenor dribbling, and another great deflection by Fanning. Fanning's been excellent all tournament long, and could be an opportunity here for Jensen Escobar, just checked in, but Dove closes him out. But Buendia played at Cumberland University in Tennessee before joining the Navy in 2021. He decided to join the Navy to experience new things, live a different lifestyle. And his plan right now is to be in the Navy for 6 years, and then he wants to go back to college and continue playing soccer at the collegiate level. So that's Brandon Buendia's idea. He's a big fan of Beckham, who we talked about, and then Cristiano Ronaldo as well.
Who isn't, right?
Yeah, seriously. Two icons. We talked about Noel, who looked like Messi with the left foot on that free kick, and he bent into the back of the net. These guys doing their own impersonations of some greats, and they have something that those three didn't have. They're serving, which is such a big deal. And when you think about it, I've only practiced together now and got the chance to play for the last 3, maybe 4 weeks or so max. So just see these guys come out here, take a little break, and get to play the sport they grew up loving and admiring. It's been so much fun.
And I love what you said there about him wanting to join the Navy to see the world. And the Armed Forces Soccer really does that as well. They give them that opportunity to compete internationally, which is a special thing for all of these men involved.
Well, going to pick up a yellow card here. That's his first of the match in the 64th minute. That was right in front of the Air Force bench, and they were looking for the card immediately. Daniel will take it here. Right about the 25 or so yard line on the far flank. Flag goes up offside. A couple of shout-outs I want to get to, too. Chris Fison, who checked out moments ago, but he grew up in Bellevue, Nebraska, and he's the son to retired Air Force Master Sergeant. Both of his parents are from Guam. His dad's change of duty, changed stations. He lived in Okinawa, Japan for 7 years, moved around. He started playing soccer in Japan at the age of 5 through the military youth program. And then in Nebraska, he played for travel club teams as well as his high school team. And he played for Bellevue University for a year prior to joining the Navy. He's a guy who was selected to the All-Navy team back in 2015. He's been playing for 8 years for this All-Navy team, and he was a part of the SISM Team USA that year. Competed at the World Games in South Korea as a big collision there. Redden clears. That was a collision between teammates, I believe.
And he's still down, the goalkeeper. That was a pretty big collision there. It looked like a lack of communication between the two. And here's a replay. Look at that hit.
That was Kasache who kind of clotheslined Fanning. And like you said, maybe some miscommunication there. And Fanning popped right back up. It's good to see. He's okay. Play will continue. And a quote I liked from Chris Fison, he said, "The biggest rival for us in this tournament is the Air Force." He goes, due to the previous championship matches, he said, we're just trying to get on the right side of a match between the Air Force. They dropped the first one of this tournament 2-1. Of course, losing in the gold medal match last year 4-0. Trying to find a way to equalize here. Final 23-plus minutes. Kasache looking for Noel. Played away by Bryant. Be a throw in here for the Navy on the far side. I believe the last Navy shout-out we haven't gotten to is Nando Manrique, captain who is out for them due to injury. But I want to get to his shout-outs in a moment. Good deflection by Daniel. Couldn't find the ball. Couldn't locate it. Here's Brandon Buendia. The Nashville native. Again, a little too much. Trying to find Jensen Escobar. But you had talked about Nando Manrique the other day and his twin brother Diego. He gave us that fun fact. Kristen, he's recruited to the All-Navy training camp. He wasn't able to attend due to PCS. That's something you've talked about all tournament long. A lot of these guys can't attend because of where they're stationed and what they're doing. First job is military. But he plans on separating from the Navy after his nuclear power school and tour of 28 months. So that is his plan. It was tough to see him go down with injury. Him and Alex Maney unable to play today. So thinking of those guys and wishing them a speedy recovery. What a ball there by Jared Dove. Here's Mikey Nexu. Nexu to Sol. Sol with a back heel to himself. I think he thought Nexu was a little bit closer. Now Nexu's got it on the fringe of the 18. That may blast the scoreboard. It was just shy. Daniel sort of mishit that one there. Your Soul on the far flank is last poked away by Chandum, so this will be a corner kick for the Air Force, trying to add an insurance goal here in the 70th minute.
We have a substitution here for Navy. In the game is Heimel Tucker, and I didn't see who left the game there.
Looked like it was Germane Doumbia. Navy trying to clear this chance here by the Air Force. Escobar is looking for the fresh legs of Tucker. Thrasher was trying to wait for Bryant to come out and get it. He never did. And this will be kind of an unnecessary push. And you can hear some of the Navy teammates there of Heimel Tucker saying, come on now, Tuck. Don't think he needed to do that there, Kristen. Should have been a throw-in. Instead, he commits the foul. It's a free kick on the defensive third for Jared Dove and company.
And that was his first play here in the game. And I know Thrasher took a hard hit there on the track. Here's another look at that. And like you said, I think that was an unnecessary foul.
Jared Dove to take it here. Time closing out on the Navy. Trying to find a way to equalize. Trying to win their first match and their final match of 2023.
And another steady presence that we've had for Air Force in the center mid there is Giuliano Daniel. He is a second lieutenant stationed at Columbus Air Force Base, Mississippi. He's going to be starting pilot training this summer. He grew up in southeast Michigan and graduated from the Air Force Academy in 2022. And his older brother is also joining the Air Force as a dentist this summer. He's a first-generation American, and it's his first time attending the Armed Forces tournament this year. And speaking of the support for both sides here, we know that all of the support from the support staff is critical in the success of each team. So somebody else we want to highlight here is Patrick Nichols, who's a volunteer assistant for Air Force Soccer. Patrick grew up in Flower Mound, Texas. He graduated from Marcus High School in 1997 as one of the top 5 goalkeepers in the state of Texas. He then went on to Midwestern State University on a Division II soccer scholarship, joined the military in 1999 and retired in 2019. He first played for the All Air Force soccer team in 2005 and played every year in until 2012. So that's a long time for him to be playing. And then joined the coaching staff in 2018. So he wants to shout out Carly Cherry for supporting him and Coach Jeremiah Kirschman for bringing him in as a coach. And shout out to all the maintainers for being the linchpins of the Air Force.
Yeah, that's Master Sergeant Patrick Nichols. So Hoping that the Air Force can maintain this 2-1 lead, potentially add another. Not one too far there from Nekshu to Villasenor. And I believe the final shout out we have that we haven't covered is Captain Zachary Leibowitz, team physical therapist. He's been with the All Air Force men's soccer team. Could be a chance here for the Navy. Buendia. Oh, miscommunication there between the back line and Bryant, who couldn't come out and get it. Buendia has the equalizer in the 75th minute. The Nashville native, Brandon Buendia, who had 3 in 2022, gets his first. He was set up by Casace, and Bryant was just late getting there.
And it looks like Air Force did a poor job there of tracking their player. He was wide open in the center of the field, and that was a great chance, great finish there by Navy.
He and Casace, he's made a big difference. That was a beautiful ball. Buendia made the run. Buendia buried one home. We are tied up at 2. Go figure, 76th minute. Are we going to see extra time again? It would be 4 of 7 matches. Or is someone going to win it here in regulation?
And this is a great response here by Navy, who, like you said, has gone the other way for them. And so that they're looking for a response just like this.
Julio Noel. Oh my, just over the bar. Noel with a great couple of moves there. Dribbled through a couple of Air Force defenders, but could not bang one home. James Sims is going to check on for the Air Force. Mike Thrasher coming off. Real quickly, wanted to get back to Zachary Leibowitz, doc and physical therapist the past 2 years for this team. He's stationed at Eglin Air Force Base in Florida. He grew up in Florida. He's a Florida native, Cocoa Beach to be exact. He received his bachelor's degree in health sciences, doctorate degree in physical therapy in 2020 from both the University of South Florida in Tampa. He wanted to give a huge, and he emphasized huge, shout out to his mother Tina, his father Perry, brother Marcus, fiance Alyssa Ray, mother-in-law Audrey, fathers-in-law Phil and Jeff, and his boss Colonel Brett Link, and the rest of the 96 Operational Medical Readiness Squadron for all their love and support. So I think we covered all shout-outs and player bios for these two teams. Didn't want to miss anyone. It's a big deal.
And it's nice to see that common theme there of thankfulness for their squadrons and their units back home to allow them to come out and do an opportunity like this.
Speaking of opportunities, here's Nekshu on the far side. Miseo Gomez. Good takeaway by Jared Dove. And a sliding stop by Fanning. 79th minute. The equalizer moments ago by Brandon Buendia, his first of 2023. Who's going to step up in crunch time and be the hero? Casace tried to stop on the ball via Senor. Some good defense in his attacking third. Daniel with some space in the middle. Buendia turns to go. Tucker plays it back. By the way, I thought Joe Alex came off, but he didn't. He's still in the match, so I got that incorrect earlier on the substitution. Franco. Franco could fire. He does. Bent right to the keeper and Bryant. Versace on the near side. Joe Alex. Alex crosses one in. Put it away by Sims. Versace could try one here if he wants to. Left foot Versace, deflected by Dove. Versace with the right foot. Caught by Bryant. So the Army and the Marines, the gold medal match, approximately 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. And that may have to be pushed back 30 minutes. Again, there is no golden goal today, so if it goes to extra time, it's an automatic 30 minutes between these two. 1 15-minute extra time period. Take a break, swing and a miss by Bouchard. Then a second extra time frame. And if there's not a winner decided after the 30 minutes of action, we will go to penalty kicks. The Air Force has been to extra time in 2 of their 3 matches. The Navy went to extra time in 2 of their 3 as well.
And it looks like we have another sub here for Air Force. Into the game is number 18, or 8, my mistake, and that is Chris Brown for number 6, Lou Martinez. And Chris Brown is going to join into the back line there and push James Sims into the midfield.
Chandum dribbling. Chandum, good move there. I got to tell you, with Chandum, he's intrigued me all tournament long. He makes a couple of great moves dribbling with the ball and then maybe over dribbles a little bit too much at the end. Out wide. Cross by Sol and picked up on a hop there by Fanning. But Chandum, it seems like he can get past the first 2 defenders and then maybe a little bit too selfish after that with the ball at his feet. Good ball here. Noel with some space. Noel, who scored the first for the Navy. Noel tries to get to his left foot. Noel with a try. Noel buries one in the back of the net. His 4th goal of the tournament in the 84th minute. Oh my goodness. Julio Noel, who went right up to the camera there. He is fired up. His 4th goal of the tournament, 2nd of this match. The Navy are moments away from winning their 1st here in 2023.
And Noel, dangerous again. Every time he gets that ball, he's going to be looking to get it in the back of the net. And what a beautiful goal that was there by Julio Noel.
And by the way, when you're looking at Golden Boot, he takes the lead from John Ponce. So Noel now with 4, Ponce with 3. And the Air Force, who have dropped 2 straight, are in danger of losing 3 in a row to end the Armed Forces Championship.
And although this is the 3rd place match, like we said earlier, all of these players are contending for a spot on that Armed Forces team. So every move they make, that's a good contention there for him to get into that team.
Talk about what's impressed you most about the Navy today.
The Navy has done a good job getting it to their playmaker there, Julio Noel, and they punched back even when they win a goal down, which is something that we haven't seen in the previous matches. So their spirit, their tenacity, and they're willing to come back from that has been impressive here today.
Made the joke earlier, said it's their first time trailing to start a match. It could prove to be the difference. They're up 3-2 here, but remember, they were up in the late stages. They're up 2-0 against the Marines. Wound up losing. Here's James Sims looking for an equalizer. He goes down, nothing called. It'll be a throw in here on the near side for AJ Villasenor and the Air Force.
And you can see that Navy is not taking a chance here. They got all 11 players behind the ball for defense, and they're going to be playing a little bit more conservative to hold this lead.
Off the head. Here's Daniel. Villasenor's making a run here, that back post, Kristen. I was looking at him, and finally a defender for Navy caught up. That was Joe Alex. All right, if you're Navy, I know it's a consolation match here, but if you're Navy, 87th minute, you got to think they're bringing everyone back here. I think they're content with a 3-2 advantage, correct, as D'Souza misses one.
Yes, they have all 11 players back behind the ball. They're going to be looking to slow the game down, waste as much time as possible. There's only 4 minutes left here in regular time, and I don't think we have a lot of stoppage time, so they're going to be looking to slow the game down.
So Navy looking for their revenge on the Air Force. After losing in the gold medal match last year 4-0 and lost the first match in the 116th minute, down a man, 2-1. Villasenor deflected by Redden. Gomez was looking for Bouchard, and Casace is going to let it go. This will waste some time. You got to think the Army and the Marines, they want this thing to end in regulation. Definitely some nerves play a factor, of course, going into that gold medal match. Coming up at approximately 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. And you've played in some big matches in your life, in your career. If you're the Army and the Marines right now, what's going through your mind as Villasenor is offside?
I think for the coaches and for the players, they're just going to want to continue to stick to their game. This is something that they've all proven that they are worthy of being in the championship game. They're going to try to play their game and just play it easy and get that win.
Any rituals that you would do before a big match? Any superstitions, anything you can think of that was like, I got to have this to eat in the morning, I got to tape the ankle this way, anything like that?
It's all about that pregame warm-up and that playlist. You know, you've got that set of songs that you have to listen to. That's always something I know a lot of players have.
I think the Army right now in the backfield is jamming out to some music over there.
Yeah, too bad we can't hear it up here in the booth.
Good touch here. Here's Tucker. Good takeaway by Dove. Soul finds Nexu. Flag stays down. He's on sides. Nexu trying to cross one in. Nexu was looking for D'Souza. D'Souza had Casace all over his back, and Casace goes down. And Casace saying, I'm okay. Waving the medical staff away. So 90th minute here. Navy were down 2-1. Scored 2 unanswered. Julio Noel has 2 in this match. He's got 4 on the tournament. He scored in every match he's appeared in. Now just imagine if the Navy, Kristen, had Julio Noel for that match against Army.
I think that would have been a different game there. We've seen time after time how dangerous he can be, and so I think that would have been a whole different game, and I know that they are regretting that a little bit.
Waiting to see how much time is being added on. Just 2 minutes. It's a little bit surprising that only 2 minutes are being added here, especially after that injury right there. That was almost 2 minutes alone. So just 2 minutes being added on.
And with the training staff coming on the field, Consolation does have to exit and wait to come back on. So Navy, oh, and there he goes. Full 11 on 11.
So it's an all-out push here for the Air Force. Final 2 or so minutes. Can they equalize at 3? Good takeaway there by Chandun. Dispossessing Seoul of the ball. This will waste some time here on the throw, and Chris Brown trying to get it quickly. Air Force trying to move everyone up here. Villasenor goes down. 90 plus 2 here. Gomez will take it. Great service here to Bouchard. Bouchard to Daniel. Daniel plays it back. Brown looking for Sims off the head, but nobody there. That was the right idea by Brown. I think Brown wanted Sims to either control it or try and head it to a teammate, not try and head it to the keeper. And now Fanning gonna take his time here. The Navy can sense it, they can smell it, they can feel it. What a ball by Fanning. Tucker, 1v1 with Bryant. Tucker dribbles past Bryant. Tucker cannot score, passing it back, and then a collision going down there is Escobar, nothing called. Wow, so Tucker elected not to take one, even though the keeper was way outside the 6.
And it looks like he just took that touch a little bit too far out of frame. His angle was not what he wanted after that first touch. And so missed opportunity there by Navy. And here's another look at that opportunity.
Jose Lara, how much is he going to allow here? You got to go if you're the Air Force and Julian Bouchard. Bouchard with a beauty, but Sims can't quite get there. Crashes into Fanning. And that is it. The Navy get their first win of the tournament and their final match. Big smile on the face of Jay Renard. So the Navy goes out a winner for the first time, and it feels like forever. The Air Force finished last here in 2023. Not the tournament that either side wanted, but a big come-from-behind victory for the Navy. Julio Noel, he was sweet here this afternoon.
I know that was the redemption story Navy was looking for after losing to Air Force in that first round with the golden goal. And like you said, the playmaker today was Julio Noel.
Julio Noel now leads the Golden Boot. He's got 4. He had 2 here today. Proved to be the difference. A 3-2 win for the Navy. They go out on top here in 2023. Coming up next, approximately 30 minutes from now, the gold medal match. The Marines, they're in the gold medal match for the first time since 1999. They have not won it in 25 years, since 1998. The Army, they've won it 13 times, last being 2 tournaments ago in 2019. Army trying to go unbeaten. The Marines trying to get revenge from their loss against Army in the opening match. We will see you guys for the gold in 30 minutes.